So, given that it's been a while since I brewed, I seem to have misplaced my giant funnel, so we're going to have to do this the hard way. I'm sure the funnel will turn up. That's just very hot water at this point. It's very hot water, and given that this is actually really fresh sediment, all I got to do is give it a little swirl around here and I should get everything off the bottom. Sometimes what you'll have to do is let it soak for a while and then pour it out once, and on the second soak use some OxyClean in there, but I am pretty sure I am not going to have to do that. Now right behind here, out of your vision, is my sink, so that's where I'm going to dump this. Just keep giving it a few swirls. I can see that seems okay. Well, I didn't quite get everything, so I'm going to give it another dump and another swirl. Actually, what I'm going to show you is, so doing this, if you can see, maybe you can't, well, it doesn't matter, there's a little bit down there, you'll take my word for it. It's a little bit down there that didn't come out in the swirl. It's going to take some encouragement. I am lucky that my forearm, if I twist it the right way, just barely gets into that keg, and I can go right to the bottom of it. Now, if your forearm doesn't fit, I know guys with much bigger arms than me, maybe you'll have to involve some child labor, I don't know. Get your kids involved, and then when they're older they can make your beer for you. Yes, that's the plan. I'm sticking to it. So that should do the trick in there. I'm just going to get some more water and give it another rinse. Alright, the second dose of water. And just give it a quick little swirl. So that is looking pretty good. Actually, I'm going to show you another way that I rinse these suckers out. So I'm going to move the camera over this way and focus it on my sink, and hopefully we will get a good cut of this. So one way, when I'm rinsing out a keg, I turn that on, it's a little bit hotter than lukewarm, and I just give the keg a twirl like this. That covers all the surfaces on the inside, covers all the surfaces. Now you want to be careful of that rubber getting around porcelain. It can mark your porcelain pretty good. Alright. Now, after I rinse it, you can see if I want to let it drain and dry drained, I do this after sanitizing. I'll show you again. I've got it standing on its head. That's all. So, now what we are going to do is we are going to, I'm not going to leave it standing on its head actually. Doesn't do me any good there. So it's reasonably clean inside. The next step is going to be, well, I really should look under here as well. Give a feel underneath where I can't really see, and that feels fine. So I've got 5-Star Chemicals Star Sand right here, a great big gallon jug that I bought probably 8 years ago now. And you can see, even though I've actually sold some to friends, I've got about 2/3 of a jug left. Damn near a lifetime supply. This stuff lasts forever. Well, except for the lid. The lid doesn't last forever. I'm going to mix up some of that in my keg. And once it's mixed, I can actually store it in a bucket for, I use it for at least 6 months. You can use it longer. I've used it for as long as a year for sanitizing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill that keg most of the way with cold water, and then I'm going to add some Star Sand to it. Alright, we're over at the sink again, and I'm just going to bore you with this. Whoopsie. Yeah, I sure would like to have that funnel. Whoopsie. Having a good rag on hand, or several, is essential when you're doing this. And having the wife out of the house is essential too. She's gone to IKEA. Okay, that's darn near full. It's right to there. It's that far from the top. It's darn near full. I'm going to take my Star Sand and mix my batch. That will do me. This batch of Star Sand should do me for at least all summer long, I would have to guess. Now, I always read the instructions. Oh yes, 1 ounce. They say 1 ounce per 5 gallons of water gives you so many parts per million, blah blah blah. But it doesn't tell you to use that. Where it is, yeah, 1 ounce per 5 gallons provides 300 parts per million of blah 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 blah, whatever the stuff in this is called. Oh, I always end up going to Google Convert, so I'm going to go do that. Yeah, if you didn't know, Google has a built-in converter. If you go into the search field and just type convert whatever to whatever, so I typed in convert 1 US ounce to ml, and it told me what it was. It's 30 milliliter, which is 2 tablespoons. I put in a little bit more than that, and there's a good reason for that. So there's 1 tablespoon. The reason I put in more is because as you use this, you are rinsing out your container, and then you put in your Star Sand, but you never let the water dry completely before you put in the Star Sand, which means the water you use to rinse is actually diluting your Star Sand solution. So the first couple of times you use it, it's actually weaker than the recommended dosage, even if it's just by a little bit. So I like to counteract that by mixing it 50% stronger than recommended. That's probably way overkill, but given that I use this for a whole year basically, this solution, I don't consider that to be wasteful, and it's certainly not a big deal for me. So there it is, mixed. I want to get that jug right into the basement, out of the reach of kids. Let's see, powerful acid, actually. So I'm just going to leave this for the active time on Star Sand is actually pretty short. 2 minutes is supposed to be quite sufficient. I'll leave it a little bit longer than that, and then I'll show you my magic trick. So this is, obviously, it's filled up to about here. So it's going to sanitize the inside of that keg from here down, and then we got to figure out, well, how do we sanitize it from here up? And I will give you that little secret in a few minutes once this part is done.